The murder of Shujaat Bukhari, the Kashmiri editor, who was gunned down on the 14th of June, there are clear indicators now that one of the terrorists who murdered him was a trained Lashkar-e-Toiba terrorist from Pakistan who had in fact escaped police custody in Srinagar. My colleague Nazir Masoodi joins us now for more on this. Nazir, what exactly are the police saying?
Well, no official statement yet, but formal statement from the police or press conference. But what we know from the sources in the police, the investigators have found that the three men who are seen on these pictures on motorbike who killed Shujaat Bukhari, and when they were fleeing back, they were caught on CCTV cameras, have been identified, and one of them is Naveed Jat, a top Lashkar commander who managed, escape from jail after he was taken to hospital for treatment early this year. And he was the main shooter, and two others are believed to are from South Kashmir, and both have been identified, even their weapons, what kind of weapons they have been used in that murder. And there are two important aspects. One is the execution. These killers who have killed Shujaat, then who have conspired it, and who created an atmosphere to kill Shujaat and target other journalists. And our sources tell us that the handlers who were running some blog from Pakistan, their IP address has been found, and the people who are running that, handling that blog, has also been identified, and who were running that vicious campaign. In fact, the investigators are also writing the U.S. United States government, under mutual legal assistance treaty with the United States through CBI nodal agency, to give them access to the logins of the various Facebook, WhatsApp, and WordPress accounts through which this vicious campaign was launched against Shujaat Bukhari and several other journalists.
All right, Nazir, thanks very much. Joining us now, Anuradha Jambal, the executive editor of the Kashmir Times in Jammu, Samir Kaul, the National Conference leader, and Brigadier Anil Gupta, member of the BJP. I'd like to go across to you first, Anuradha. We keep talking about peace. We need to talk with Pakistan. We need to bring down the level of tension. Yes, we have a ceasefire on the line of control, but every time we do that, there is new evidence to suggest that Pakistan is so closely involved in attacks on us. Shujaat was killed by a Pakistani, one among three people. What exactly can we expect to do if we keep wanting to talk with Pakistan when they come and kill people, including journalists?
Number one, I think if we really mean to talk, we need to keep on talking. There would be vested interests on this side or that side who would not want talk and would try and derail it. That does not mean that we succumb to these kind of pressures and play into the hands of the vested interests. Number two, I'm not very sure. The kind of investigation that has just surfaced, and there are different official versions about it. This is something that the police sources are saying. And then there is an official version, which is we haven't identified any of these people. So there is confusion even at the official level. I mean, if you talk about, there is an entire police paraphernalia. They have proper scientific ways of investigating cases, and in Kashmir they have always failed. They should be going by the evidence. They have means of using their forensic equipment, the other investigating material, their expertise, and that is really not happening. That evidence. These are theories. There are 40 lakh people in Kashmir Valley, and all 40 lakh will give you different theories.
No, but Anuradha, these aren't theories. Anuradha, these aren't theories. This is source-based information. It's obviously coming from the police. It's been reported widely, and we've cross-checked our information from our sources, and we stand by this. That these are the people who have been identified.
I'm sitting here in the valley, and within the official circles, there are other versions. Why don't they come out with a clear? They always try and create confusion by the.
That's a fair point. That's a fair point, Anuradha.
It's from the official agencies, 3-4 different theories will come out, and you completely confuse and obfuscate the investigation.
All right, I want to go across to Brigadier Anil Gupta of the BJP. Brigadier Gupta, do you believe that we are one step closer to finding out who murdered Shujaat, or do you believe the manner in which this is being reported, information is being shared indirectly in the absence of something official from the police is, it serves to confuse matters?
No, it is highly correct information. The information given by the police is correct. That earlier also, if you remember, police had mentioned that Naveed Jatt, the terrorist who escaped from Srinagar hospital, was the one who was responsible for it. And they have also identified 2 locals from South Kashmir. So hence, to question the veracity of the information, I think, is questioning the efficiency of the police.
Let me go across to you, Samir. In a situation like this, when there is, again, it appears, a clear hand of Pakistanis in assassinating, this gentleman, Shujaat Bukhari, what exactly, are we looking at now? Because it's not just a battle against security agencies. It's not just, targeting the police, the CRPF or the army. It's much worse. It's targeting journalists. It's targeting people who want peace. That's what Shujaat wanted more than anything else. In a situation like this, when we say let's talk to Pakistan, who do we talk to?
See, it's an attempt by Pakistan to silence all those terror voices.
Samir, go ahead. Samir, go ahead. Brigadier, I was asking Samir call. Samir, go ahead.
Sorry. We at the National Conference believe that this is a very, very complex problem. I wish there were simple answers, that you corrected one thing and the matter was over. We have to look at it in entirety. We can't ignore history, which means we've got to look at first of all, this investigation is still an ongoing investigation. We need to find out the motive, the modus operandi, and beyond any doubt, establish all the credentials, identify the people, and also nab them, because obviously they are somewhere around there. Now, once that is done and convincingly proved to the rest of the country, and particularly to the Kashmiris, let me assure you, they are a scared lot today. Nobody, not only the media, nobody worth any person in Kashmir feels unsafe at the moment. Again reiterating, this is an ongoing internecine, low-intensity conflict between 2 nations. We must accept it. We have a problem. We need to deal with it diplomatically. We need to deal with it covertly. We need to put pressure. But I can assure you, the cornerstone of the whole thing is we can't stop talking.
All right.
We can convince, we can talk. Now the question, what we feel is that if military and the deep state in Pakistan controls that country, why can't we refocus and talk to these people, try to convince them?
But perhaps we have all of these track to efforts have been trying to do that. We've had that for years. Nothing has happened. We keep, if we were to repeat a discussion that you and I had a few years ago with this exact same situation, people won't be able to tell the difference. We need to make them
more wide-based.
Nothing has changed.
I'm not saying just try one option. You've got to try all of them, but you can't not stop talking.
Anuradha, very briefly, I wanted to go back to Brigadier. I wanted to go back to the Brigadier.
This is all born out of a conflict.
Samir, 1 second. Anuradha, quickly make your point. Yes.
Very briefly, just connected to what Samir Kaul said, there are, and your question, there are hawks both sides. There are hawks on the Indian side, there are hawks on the Pakistani side. There are doves this side and that side. But I think talks have to go on. And if we are going to be cowed down and bowed down by saboteurs of peace, those who want to derail peace, we are actually playing into their hands. So these are the things we need to think. And the other thing is, what other alternative do we have? We have no other alternative to peace than dialogue and reconciliation.
All right. Brigadier Gupta, a lot of people would say that, look, now there's governor's rule in Jammu and Kashmir. security agencies are more alert. There are other people who will say that, look, there is not very much more that security agencies could have done. It's not as if you were being prevented from securing Jammu and Kashmir when you were in power. Now with governor's rule, there seems to be the sense that something bigger, something different will happen. But we are already so deployed in Jammu and Kashmir at so many levels. How can things necessarily change to make people safer?
See, firstly, let me answer what Sameer was saying. Talking to deep state. What do we talk to them? What do we offer them? What is there new to offer to them? What is it that which will satisfy the deep state that they will stop their anti-India, anti-hate India campaign? Are they willing to stop the proxy war in Jammu and Kashmir? Are they willing to stop their abode aim of doing 1,000 cuts to India and tukde of India? Are they going to do that? No. So therefore, talking to deep state is theoretically very correct. But what are we going to get out of it? Is my question to Sameer Kaur. Now coming on to your question, you see the governor is there.
With due respect, Brigadier.
There is a law and order machinery in the state. They will function and they will ensure that sanity returns. And if you see, the Kashmir for the last 3-4 days has been quieter as compared to what it used to be earlier.
All right. Well, one way or the other, no clear answers. But if the police are one step closer to finding the murderers,
can I share a common secret
quickly
with all of you, ladies and gentlemen? Get the people on your side. That is going to change things.
All right.
Embrace them. Get them on their side. Believe me, if the people are with
It's a chicken
us,
and an egg situation. Very unfortunately, getting people on their side is one thing. But fighting terror and fighting these attacks is something else. It seems in Kashmir,
it's the most
for whatever the reasons, that the two have not worked together. It's just a reality that they've not worked together in the manner in which, Sameer, that you say. I understand what you're saying. I'd like to thank all of you very much for joining us.